If you consider stopping and paying attention, you will realize that there is a hidden cipher, a structure that serves as the basis for everything that exists on Earth. These principles are not man-made regulations surrounded by temporal or geographical limits. On the contrary, they are heavenly principles, eternal and all-encompassing. They do not stultify your conduct through the threat of retribution, but rather direct your existence towards greater wisdom and satisfaction. These forces have shaped your history and will continue to sculpt your destiny. More importantly, they have the capacity to illuminate your present moment. As we explore these omnipresent principles, or as they say, universal laws, you can discover not only knowledge, but also deep insight into everything that governs us. Seek not just data, but a transformation. Law of divine unity. The law of divine unity preaches that I, you, and the universe are all one. There is no separation between you, the plant, your dog, and me. We are all one. We are all one electromagnetic field. We are all part of the same creative energy. The God that dwells in me is the same God that dwells in you. The human being is a complex being. He manages to be unique but connected to the whole. We have our own choices. We have the opportunity to enjoy an individual experience, but we are never separate from the rest of the universe. We are eternally connected to the whole. And it's not a question of choosing to be united or not. You are united to the whole, whether you want to be or not. Recognizing the principle of divine oneness assures us that no one lives life in isolation. We are collectively on this journey. Instead of being mere drops in the vast ocean, we are like the ocean within a single drop. If everything we perceive, feel, and experience emanates from the same divine source, then responses such as love, kindness, and compassion become the natural results of our interactions. The central essence is to treat others with the same consideration and care that we wish for ourselves, recognizing that the harm inflicted on the other is, in essence, the harm inflicted on ourselves. This principle sums up the essence of the Golden Rule. Treat others as you wish to be treated. How can we incorporate this principle into our daily lives? Start by recognizing the divinity in every person you meet. Approach every interaction as an opportunity to manifest kindness and understanding. When communicating, let your words mirror your awareness of this unity. When you listen, do so with empathy, from the knowledge that we are all branches of the same tree. Law of vibration. According to the law of vibration, the universe is in constant vibratory movement, and everything is manifested by this principle. All things move with their own pattern of vibration, and nothing in the universe is at rest. By knowing the principle of vibration, we are able to understand one of the most inexorable laws of the universe, that everything is in motion, from subatomic particles of matter to our mind. In fact, vibration is the degree of frequency at which each element moves. Faster, high-frequency vibrations are more subtle, while slower, low-frequency vibrations are denser. The closer something is to matter, the lower the vibration. Therefore, minerals have the lowest vibrations, followed by plants, animals, human beings, spirits, and the mind. The higher the vibration, the less perceptible it is to the naked eye, as is the case with electromagnetic and sound waves. The law of vibration also explains that, just as in physics, movement generates a centripetal and centrifugal force. We human beings are also capable of attracting or radiating energy through our vibrations and exerting influence on the world around us. Law of correspondence. The Hermetic law of correspondence is one of the fundamental principles described in the Kybalion, a text that explores the teachings of Hermeticism. This principle is often summarized by the phrase, "As above, so below, as below, so above." This simple expression reflects a profound idea about the nature of the universe and the interconnection between its various levels. Essentially, the law of correspondence suggests that there is a harmony, a correspondence between the different layers of reality. This means that the patterns we observe in the macrocosm, such as the movements of the planets or the cycle of the seasons, have a parallel in the microcosm, such as the functioning of a living organism, or even the internal processes of an atom. The idea behind this law is that everything in the universe is interconnected in some way. The principles and laws that govern the vast cosmos also apply to the smallest scales of existence. For example, the way galaxies organize themselves in space can reflect patterns found in nature, such as the arrangement of petals in a flower or the structure of a shell. This correspondence does not imply that everything is identical on all scales, but that there is a relationship of similarity, a synchronicity that transcends size or magnitude. The law of correspondence invites us to look at the universe and ourselves as reflections of each other, suggesting that by understanding the principles that govern one level of reality, we can gain insights into other levels. The law of correspondence also has ethical and moral implications. If what happens on one scale is reflected on another, then our individual actions and thoughts have repercussions that go beyond our personal experience. This highlights the responsibility we have in our interactions with the world and with others, because what we contribute on one level can influence the whole. Law of attraction. The law of attraction is a philosophy that says that the energies we emit, whether through our thoughts, emotions, beliefs, or vibrations, have an incredible capacity to directly influence the experiences we attract into our lives. Its premise is that the universe is made up of vibrational energy, and that our minds act like magnets, attracting situations, feelings, and circumstances that are in tune with our own energies. Thus, the law of attraction suggests that people's mental and emotional states shape their own realities, becoming a true guide to the manifestation of their deepest desires and goals. Generally speaking, the law of attraction has the basic principle that like attracts like, meaning that the energies we emanate, whether positive or negative, tend to attract experiences that share the same energy. So, when we are immersed in positive thoughts and feelings, we are consequently in tune with high vibrational frequencies, i.e., those that put us in a state conducive to attracting equally positive things. However, negative emotions and thought patterns can attract unwanted situations. Law of inspired action. Closely related to the law of attraction, the law of inspired action is about taking real action to invite what we want into our lives. Inspiration often comes from within. Inspired action is an internal impulse, but not always a plan of action. Practicing the law means slowing down, getting quiet, and creating space for an internal orientation to take place. When we let go of our need to organize and control how everything will happen and are open to all possibilities, we make room for new ways of achieving our goals. Inspired action isn't just about taking any kind of action. It's about acting in a way that is aligned with the vibration and energy of our desires. When we act with inspiration, we feel an inner urge to act, and this is different from acting on impulse or out of fear. Therefore, practicing the law of inspired action means being in touch with our essence, listening to our inner guidance, and acting in accordance with our desires, rather than making decisions based on fear or impulsiveness. Law of perpetual transmutation. This law states that all energy can change form, continually transmuting itself into other expressions. In other words, energy is always moving, transforming, and evolving. According to Bob Proctor, this means that our lives are also in a constant process of transmutation. Our body, our thoughts, our circumstances, everything is transforming all the time. This shows us that there are no static or permanent situations. Everything can be altered and raised to a new vibrational level when we make the necessary changes internally. This law reminds us that if we don't like some aspect of life, we have the power to transmute it into something better through mental focus and positive vibration. In practice, this involves changing our limiting thoughts and beliefs, cultivating more constructive attitudes, and taking new actions. In this way, we attract new possibilities. Law of cause and effect. According to the law of cause and effect, nothing happens by chance, since chance does not exist. We call those phenomena that we don't know how to explain chance, but there is always a cause for every effect. The cause is the effect of another cause, which means that the universe revolves around choices made and actions taken, which generate consequences. These consequences generate other effects. The principle of cause and effect is considered controversial because it holds people responsible for their actions. However, it is a principle accepted in all philosophies and thought, also known as karma. The law of cause and effect explains the dynamics of events on different planes. By saying that every effect has a cause, we affirm that, in the mental whole in which we are immersed, nothing happens by chance. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. There are many planes of causality, but none escapes the law. The Kybalion. Law of compensation. The law of compensation is closely linked to the law of attraction and the law of correspondence. We reap what we sow is the great principle of this law, which says that when we take positive actions and attitudes, we will always get a reward. We always aim to contribute to the lives of others and to ourselves, helping and adding in a way that brings love and support. Law of relativity. The law of relativity explains that we have a habit of making comparisons between things in our world, when, in fact, this isn't even necessary. We compare our lives with those of others, our financial situation, and a whole host of other things that don't even make sense. But everything in the universe is relative. Nothing is eternal, but fleeting. Applying this law helps us to understand the most difficult moments with a greater sense of compassion. Polarity law. Good and evil, love and hate, fear and courage, forgiveness and revenge. It's exactly these dualities that this law explains. The law of polarity is about understanding the dualities that occur in our lives, because this is the key to understanding that there needs to be a balance of opposing energies. Of course, these dualities only exist on planet Earth because of the beings who have been here for millennia. However, dualities do not occur in other dimensions or on more evolved planets. Law of rhythm. Cycles are part of the balanced structure of the universe in which we live, ensuring a large part of the cosmic equilibrium. Think of the seasons in our world, or even in our lives. Think that the cycle of changing patterns is just as important as that of growth. We tend to think that we can be the same all the time, be it in terms of health, financial life, productivity, and everything else. But that's not the case, because look at what happens to your internal rhythms. If you work against them, you'll suffer instead of working with your internal rhythms. The law of gender is directly connected to the energies of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine. The energy of the sacred masculine is responsible for courage and strength. The sacred feminine is responsible for grace and beauty. The universe is based on these two energies in full balance, the famous yin and yang. In us, these two energies also need to be in full balance, so that our lives flow like water in a stream. These are ancient laws that the wisest people on earth have always known and lived by intuitively. When we don't follow these laws, we're fighting against the way the world works, and that makes life very difficult. It's not that anyone is punishing us, but life can feel like a punishment because we're swimming against the current of the universe. I hope this video helps you make your dreams come true. Subscribe and share this video if you like it. Be sure to write a comment to share your feelings, thoughts, and experiences. Thank you for joining me on this transformative journey, and see you soon.